This morning, I have the luxury of introducing one of our past presidents, a managing broker who has been running fabulous offices, and kind of a friend of mine too. I've known Chris for a long time now. This is Chris Stevens. So I'm going to ask Chris, will you introduce yourself? And as you introduce yourself, I want you to tell us, how did you get here? What was the process that got you here?
Yeah, so my name's Chris Stevens. This Monday was I just had an anniversary, my 18th year in the business. So I started in April of 2004, 2006. And really excited. So I started.
What'd you do before? Let me help you here.
Yeah.
What'd you do before you were a realtor?
Before I was a realtor, I graduated college. I was a financial advisor for just over a year. Nobody wanted to talk to a 22-year-old child about their finances and retirement and life insurance and mutual funds and those types of things. So I got a job. I was going to be going to law school is where I first started. Took the LSAT, got a job as a bartender because I thought I would be bartending my way through college, and turned down for financial aid and said, right now, this was in 2004, and I had friends coming out of law school and didn't want to take any financial burden, taking out any financial loans or anything like that. So went back to the restaurant and said, I'm not going to need this. I'm not going to be going to law school. They said, how about we make you a manager of the restaurant? So I managed. I said, that's fine, but I want to keep my Thursday and Sunday nights. I had already built up some clientele that was kind of coming in on Thursday and Sunday nights. It was another friend of mine who was working those nights. I was a front-end manager at a restaurant here on the North Shore, and made some great connections, and some other real estate people were always coming in, contacting me saying, hey, why don't you get into real estate? So then I bought my first condo, was flipping that, and really had some great success with that. And that started it. I'm third generation, so my uncle and my grandfather started in real estate, so I knew I kind of always wanted to go into real estate. My father invested in some real estate, always, bought houses, sold houses, made good money.
Knew how to make money with houses.
Yeah, yes. Exactly.
I will tell you that one of the things is over all the time that I've been training, when I come across someone who has been a bartender, they're always going to be successful. They know how to make this work for themselves. Yeah. So it's good to know that.
And it works with people. If I have clients over at my house,
it works.
I do make some pretty good drinks.
There you go. You had some very specific things you wanted to talk about today.
Yeah, I think that the landscape of marketing in real estate has really changed over the last few years. People used to, and there's people that are on Canva and making memes and putting stuff out there and stuff like that. And I really think that over the last few years and the future, the relationship of real estate is really there. And I think that the future is going to be in video, long form, short form video. So I just wanted to, share with the members of our association and give them some ideas, things that I've been coaching with my agents over the last few years, my team members now, and things that I'm planning on doing myself. After getting back into sales, after managing for 10 years, that I'm going to be doing myself. So I thought I would share some of those ideas.
I would like to hear them.
Absolutely.
So what have you got?
So I think some of the easiest things that, agents need to just make sure that they're not afraid to be in front of the camera, right? They're not afraid to be in front of their clients. They're not afraid to be in front of, potential clients, and they're meeting people at open houses. It's the same thing. But when they first meet people, that shouldn't be their first introduction. If people Google them and they Google them online, or people get referred to them, they're probably going to Google them or go to their website and see. And a lot of times, if they have some video or a video uploaded to their website, great. That is a great introduction. So an introduction of themselves, if they have a team, an introduction of their team, some different services that they offer that they can talk about. I think it's really great and important for them to discuss exactly what they specialize in. Some people are the jack of all trades, and there's some people that can handle a lot of stuff. You see in commercial real estate, there's generalists and then there's specialists.
Yes.
And in real estate, there are specialists. And if you're a specialist of something, if you're a specialist at working with first-time home buyers, then that's great. You need to let people know that and let them know what differentiates you. Are there courses that you've taken? Are there anything special about you? If you're specifically a listing agent, areas that you cover.
Can I go back for just a minute?
Yeah.
one of the things that you said is you just have to get used to being in front of the camera.
Yes.
I think that's probably the most difficult thing. I'll just tell you my little sad story. Carolyn did who is our social media person, did a little video for me for a class I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to show you what I was doing in the video. I was doing this in the video. I could smack her for not making me stop doing that in the video. People just have to get used to being themselves on camera.
Absolutely.
That's a really challenging thing. I think that's probably the most challenging thing is to say, okay, and so as I got it, I thought, am I going to send this to everyone on my Facebook page with me twiddling my thumbs? And I finally thought, you know what? That's what I was doing, so that's what I sent. And I think that's the thing that almost before they start talking about what they can do, they have to get comfortable with who they are.
Absolutely. But the way you get comfortable doing it, in my opinion, is just doing it.
Just doing it.
You know, there's so many people that are afraid of putting out, make a gag reel then. At the end of your photo shoots or
Yes.
something. And I think technology's come a long way. Like people, they didn't want to memorize their lines or what they're going to say. There's teleprompters now. There's teleprompter apps. So if they're recording just on their cell phone or something like that, which is great. There's bomb videos that can be done. There's different things that can go directly into people's inboxes. There's great methods that are getting better views, better open rates, better tracking, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's great when people are uploading. So my ideas, obviously, I think that everyone, if you're going to go this route, absolutely, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, but also having a YouTube channel as well, so that you have longevity over this. Nobody's going to scroll back, in your news feed and see a video that you posted 3 years ago, unless
They're
you're
not
running
going to scroll back and see what you posted 3 weeks ago.
No, absolutely
Right.
not. Maybe if you're running for Congress or you're
Yes.
doing so, then somebody will be scanning your old social media, but definitely not
for us.
Not
Right.
for us, not what we're doing. So having a place where that sits for a long time. So some of the other things were introduction of your team members, right? And not just if you have a team, but let's say you're an individual agent. Your lender, your attorney, your inspector, your home warranty people, your contractors that you might be recommending, letting them know this is my team. When you work with me, this is what you're going to be getting. And so that people have a comfort level when they know that you have these other resources. Who are they going to be working with? How is that going to go? First-time home buyer tips, overview of the home buying process, talking to the camera. Now that's something I think is great for a YouTube channel, because why reinvent the wheel every time we have a new first-time home buyer? Why reinvent the wheel every time we have a new listing? And we don't want to have that, right? So why reinvent the wheel? Let's have something frequently asked questions. I think is a great opportunity where agents can talk about frequently asked questions in the home buying process. And then that's something when a new home buyer contacts them, or they get a lead, or somebody from their database, or even somebody that they know reaches out to them. Great, here's an introductory email, here's a video that you can watch. And it builds to that comfort level. They see how they're talking or how they're educating the consumer, and they don't have to do that. There's a lot of agents right now that are doing great things with, like, let's say BombBomb, and you get a new client and it's already saved in there, or you're doing a direct message. I know one agent who, it's really funny. Like every time we text back and forth, she sends a voice recording. And I asked her, why don't you do this? She goes, I want people to hear the inflection of my voice. I want them to know that I'm a human. I'm not, a bot or something on the other end. And she says the person's first, hey, Christopher, so great. Thanks for contacting me. And it actually puts a smile on your face when you're listening to them and you hear their voice. So many things get taken out of context when it's just in text. So she's doing voices. I know agents
I actually like that very much. The
Yeah.
idea that you're still building relationships. A phrase you used in there, she used my name.
Yeah.
Just how important it is to have someone use your name with something and not make it sound like a bot that's saying your name,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
a human being. Because I think you're right. I think that's really critically important.
I know agents that do that. They get a voicemail and they record a quick video and send it to a client and say, hey, I'm on a home inspection. I really want to talk to you. I'll be in touch with you in a little bit. And they might send just a little video to them so that they know that they're a person. I look forward to you. In the meantime, you can, let's say it's a new client and you just want to send a voice recording or a video to that client saying, hey, in the meantime, please visit my website and I'll be in touch with you soon. I just wanted to reach out so you could put a face to a name and stuff like that. So I think that that's important where video does that. Voice, you can hear their voice, you can hear the inflection.
I like
and
that
video
very much,
takes
too.
it even a step further because you can see
You can see them.
you can see
Yes.
them. So, yeah, I think that why reinvent the wheel? I just want to emphasize that. We do, in the real estate business, I don't know how many times, I save a lot of signature, like regular emails that I send out on a regular basis, I save them as signatures. There's no reason we shouldn't be doing the same thing with video and having frequently asked questions, different things for different samples saved on a YouTube page where we can just direct people to that. And not only that, YouTube's owned by Google. So if people are doing a Google search, so some of the other things that I think would be really great, client testimonials, of course, everyone does, just listed, just sold, open house videos, walkthroughs of property, highlight reels of improvements, stuff like that. The most important thing I think is on a monthly basis, there's so many people, we've been talking many, many years about data-driven dialogue and
Yes.
discussing what's going on in the local marketplace, those types of things. That's great. And if you could do that on video and talk about, hey, we're in Wilmette right now and having a video outside and saying there's, it's May 1st, there's currently X amount of properties on the market, this is how many sold, and putting out a video like that showing that the local marketplace, you're in the local marketplace, and to discuss those, the data and having a data-driven dialogue leads to more dialogues with consumers. They're going to call you, they're going to pick up the phone, text you, email you, just by seeing social media. They might start commenting on those.
One of the agents I know, she went the monuments in front of every subdivision.
Yeah.
She would just go stand in front of there and say, this subdivision was built in this year, and it has this many houses, and it has this style of houses, and the prices here have sold between. And she would do, I think it was probably one a week.
Yep.
But I paid attention to what she was telling me because I like to know that information, even for other realtors. I think probably wanted to know some of that information.
Absolutely.
So I think that data-driven video is a good idea.
Absolutely, and it puts a person to that. If they're Googling a certain area and it's a YouTube video, it might come up in their Google search, and
Yes.
and then they're going to say, okay, this is the agent. I'm moving to Northbrook, Illinois, and this is the person who seems to know that they really know what's going on in
Yes.
Northbrook. I'm moving from the city. I'm moving from Kentucky or San Francisco or wherever. People are Googling these, and they're getting video. So those are pretty important in my opinion. State of the real estate market, on a quarterly basis or something like that, putting something out there to your clients that you can send an e-blast with a photo, and if they click on the photo, it opens up to your YouTube page. Or you start getting followers on your YouTube channel and stuff like that. So I think that there's a lot of opportunity. You can shoot one video and have that in a multitude of different channels that it goes out, right? Social media channels, LinkedIn, on a e-blast system, up onto YouTube, and have longevity for those videos as well.
Right. So my question to you is, you're sending all these things. What's your first visit like with the real human beings?
Well, I think that it goes a step further, right? So if they might get to one of your videos from here and then start watching your About Me video, and they start
Yes.
learning about you. They might go to your website from one video talking about the market, and then they're going to go to your website and then see another video about you and start researching you, right?
Okay.
So that's where I think it goes. If they go to one YouTube video off of your YouTube channel, they might get to your other one. They learn about you. So the first time that you meet that person, it's a deeper conversation. It's a deeper dialogue. They feel more connected and open to you because they know a little bit more about you.
There's some credibility about being online as well. When people are online, they must know stuff.
Absolutely.
Truly. I mean, I think there's just that sort of, they must know stuff.
Yeah.
So I think you get a little bit of that as well, rather than the first time meeting, I don't know who you are. He did this already, so he must know stuff. So you're right, a little bit more ease and comfort with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got 3 phone calls this week from some different investors that wanted to work with an agent helping them find stuff. 2 of them, I couldn't find anything about their business, Better Business Bureau, Better anything. They said they have a huge company and what they're doing. I couldn't find anything about it. There was another same thing about another investor. You're asking the right questions and stuff. Like, I'm not meeting anyone anywhere. I'm not getting in my car. I'm not spending, I can't get time back. That's what I've realized after
Yes.
18 years in the business is, yes, I'll make more money if I invest in something or a marketing plan or something like that and it doesn't turn out, that's fine. But I can't get my time back. And
Yes.
that's what's most important to me nowadays. So I'm not going to invest an hour or 2 hours into something unless I vetted the person, vetted different things. And 2 of the 3 people, couldn't go online, couldn't vet them out, couldn't see anything.
Yes.
And that's what people are doing with us as agents, right? They want to work with the best. And that's what's people, there's people entering the business. I think that they really need to invest in themselves, do the education, become the master
Yes.
of their craft, and show all the knowledge that they know, right? I mean, I have 18 years of doing this and hundreds of transactions that I have knowledge. So when a consumer or a new client comes to me, I have that to look into. But when I was new into the business, I used to pick a topic every month and write a newsletter, and that's what I did. Video wasn't the thing back then, right? So
18 years ago, you're right. Video wasn't the thing.
It was not.
It was not the thing.
But people call me and say, "Hey, do you have a home buyer's pack?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And I was always going after home buyers, and I said, "You know what? Give me 48 hours." I took everything that I had written for the last year and a half, and I put together a home buyer's packet for them, and they go, "This is great."
Yeah.
I was using that for many years. So, becoming the master of your craft and really understanding that, and it's so easy to do with video and putting that out there. So some different explainer videos, explaining, the process, frequently asked questions. We talked about that. Home improvement tips. I think that is so, getting a home ready for sale, and you could video and walk around the house and say, here's some things that we notice,
I stop and look at them all the time on Instagram, even though I already could probably do them myself.
Yeah.
I still want to see what
Yeah.
other people are saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, and how they present and
Yes.
different things that they're doing. Secrets of making your home more sellable. And not only that, what happens at a closing. I think that's a super easy video, and you explain what's going to happen in a closing. Because what's the hardest thing? I coach and train agents. We have a 13-page contract for a home buyer, right? If we're using the multi-bore contract, there's no reason that that the first time that they see that contract should be when they're making the offer.
Oh,
right?
God.
They should
I'm
be
with
getting
you.
that or an email to say, hey, we're going to start our home buying search. Here's a copy of the contract that we're going to. We can sit down and talk about this. Why scare them? They've come to a climax. They're about to make an offer. They've found the house.
And now we have 14
And now all of a
pages.
sudden we're going to hand them a 13-page contract and scare them.
Yes.
That's outrageous.
Yes.
It's just professionalism, how we want to do business. So not only I don't know if we would explain a contract in a video, but maybe just explaining the contract or the process, or explaining what's going to happen at the closing. It's a very anxious time of the transaction. They don't know what to expect, a first-time home buyer, or even though they might have sold a home 20 years ago,
They don't know
5
what to
years
expect
ago.
then.
It's going to be
It's
completely
different.
different,
Just different.
post-closing versus pre-closing.
Yes.
Sellers are never at the closing table anymore. So letting them know sellers aren't going to be there. We're going to be there. Their attorney might not be there. It might just be us and our attorney and
Yes.
and your lender. If you have a lender, it might be showing up. Or nobody's going to be in the room. It's just going to be me, you, and
Everybody's
the
gonna be
attorney. Or
sending
I'm
up.
not going to be there. It's just going to be you and your attorney. Whatever that is, it's just setting their expectations. And that's the whole role in all of sales, is just setting the right expectation, delivering on those expectations, and making sure we meet or exceed those expectations with our clients. So
You used one other word, and we're going to end this up with this other word that you had.
Yeah.
And that other word was professionalism. All of the things you're talking about, increase professionalism, increase your ability to build a professional relationship with clients.
Yeah.
It doesn't ever replace us having a handshake.
Absolutely.
Never replaces that. But it is all those things that set the stage for that to be an easy thing to do. Chris, I want to thank you very much for spending time with us this morning. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Just a note, the views of our guests may not reflect the views of the North Shore-Barrington Association of Realtors.